Welcome, coin enthusiasts and treasure hunters, to another exciting journey into the world of rare and valuable coins. Today, we are diving deep into a coin that might seem ordinary at first glance, yet holds a hidden allure for collectors and numismatists alike: the 2006 P Mint Mark Roosevelt dime from the United States of America. This small, seemingly modest piece of currency could hold a secret fortune in your pocket, your change jar, or even tucked away in an old collection you've forgotten about. If you've ever wondered whether the coins you casually handle could be worth thousands, then stay with us, because this is one story you won't want to miss. The Roosevelt dime has been a mainstay of American coinage since 1946, replacing the Mercury dime with the likeness of the 32nd President, Franklin Delano Roosevelt. Why Roosevelt? His leadership during the Great Depression and his commitment to the March of Dimes campaign, which helped fight polio, cemented his place on this iconic coin. Unlike larger denominations, dimes were used for everyday transactions, meaning countless millions were minted and circulated. This makes spotting a rare or valuable version a thrilling and often challenging adventure. Now, let's focus on the 2006 P Mint Mark Roosevelt dime. At first glance, it appears just like any other dime minted that year. The obverse features the familiar profile of President Roosevelt, the sharp detail of his hair, and the confident lines of his face. The mint mark, a small P, is located near the rim, a tiny indicator that this dime was produced at the Philadelphia Mint. On the reverse, we see the classic torch, olive branch, and oak branch, symbolizing liberty, peace, and strength, a design that has remained largely unchanged since the dime's introduction. So, what makes this particular coin special? How does a 2006 dime, which many people might have spent or saved in bulk, become a sought-after collector's item? The answer lies in rarity, condition, and a subtle error that transforms an everyday dime into a potential goldmine for collectors. Coin errors, minting mistakes, or variations can drastically affect the value of a coin, even if it's only a few years old. Collectors are constantly on the lookout for such anomalies because the fewer exist, the higher the value climbs. One of the key factors in assessing any coin's value is its condition, often evaluated using the Sheldon coin grading scale. A brand new coin straight from the mint without any wear is called mint state, typically graded MS60 and above, while circulated coins fall lower on the scale. The 2006 P Mint Mark Roosevelt dime is no exception. While millions of these dimes entered circulation, very few have been preserved in pristine condition. The tiniest imperfections, scratches, or discolorations can reduce its value significantly, making well-preserved coins extremely desirable for collectors. But the real magic comes when we discuss the minting anomalies. The 2006 P Roosevelt dime has a fascinating story among numismatists. Some coins exhibit what is known as double die, or overstruck, errors, where the design elements appear doubled or slightly misaligned. This happens due to a misalignment in the die during the minting process. For collectors, these minor flaws transform a simple dime into a highly coveted rarity. Even a small doubling of the letters in Liberty or In God We Trust can catch the attention of serious collectors and auction houses, sending prices soaring. Another intriguing aspect is the die crack, or die break, where tiny cracks in the minting die leave raised lines on the coin's surface. While these may seem like imperfections to the untrained eye, they are actually highly sought after by error coin enthusiasts. The 2006 P Roosevelt dime occasionally exhibits such die cracks, making it a unique and valuable piece in certain collections. Collectors love these quirks because each one tells a story about the minting process and the exact moment the coin was struck, frozen in time as a miniature work of art. Of course, the rarity of the coin also depends on mintage numbers. In 2006, millions of dimes were struck at the Philadelphia Mint. However, a very small percentage were set aside for collectors as uncirculated proofs or special editions, some of which were not released for general circulation. Coins in these categories often have a brighter luster, sharper details, and no signs of wear, which makes them instantly more appealing to collectors. A 2006 P Roosevelt dime in perfect uncirculated condition can attract serious interest from numismatists around the world. You might be asking yourself, but how would I know if my dime is one of these rare versions? The answer lies in careful examination. Using a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe, you can inspect the coin for minute details such as die doubling, extra lines, unusual marks, or distinctive luster. Even subtle differences from the standard coin can indicate that your dime is worth more than face value. For those who are serious, having the coin professionally graded by the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, or Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, adds authenticity and can significantly boost its market value. A certified coin with a high grade is much easier to sell at auction or through private collectors. Collectors also pay close attention to the coin's provenance, the history of its ownership. Coins that come from established collections or have documentation of discovery, like being found in mint sets or carefully stored for decades, carry more credibility and often fetch higher prices. This is especially true for modern coins like the 2006 P. Roosevelt dime, where condition and history can make a huge difference in perceived value. Now, let's talk about market demand. In the numismatic world, certain coins become highly desirable not just for their rarity, but also because of trends among collectors. Roosevelt dimes, in particular, have a loyal following due to their iconic design and historical significance. Era coins, such as those from 2006 with subtle minting anomalies, have become increasingly popular in recent years. Auction results have shown that these coins can attract competitive bidding, especially when presented in pristine condition. The 2006 P. Mint Mark Roosevelt dime also appeals to investors who are looking to diversify their assets with tangible items. Coins hold intrinsic value because of their metal content, historical significance, and collectible appeal. While a standard dime may only be worth its face value, a rare or high-grade version offers the potential for substantial returns. Savvy investors often keep an eye on emerging trends in coin collecting, watching for undervalued coins that could skyrocket in price as demand grows. Even if you're not a professional collector, the thrill of finding a valuable coin in your own change is part of the allure. Imagine rifling through a jar of dimes from the past couple of decades, carefully inspecting each one, and suddenly spotting a gleaming 2006 P. Roosevelt dime that stands out. The feeling is comparable to discovering hidden treasure, a small, circular piece of history that could hold immense value. Many collectors have stories of stumbling across rare coins in circulation that later sold for thousands at auction. It's worth noting that the 2006 P. Mint Mark Roosevelt dime is a perfect example of how modern coins, even those minted in the 21st century, can hold surprising value. While most collectors often focus on older coins, such as the early Lincoln cents or pre-1965 silver coins, modern coins with unique characteristics can be just as lucrative. The key is knowledge, vigilance, and a keen eye for detail. Those who take the time to learn about mint marks, errors, and grading often find the most exciting opportunities. Of course, the process of selling or valuing a coin requires patience and research. Coin collectors often attend local coin shows, auctions, or online marketplaces to gauge interest and determine market value. Prices fluctuate based on condition, rarity, and collector demand, making it essential to understand the nuances of the coin market. Networking with experienced collectors and dealers can provide valuable insight, ensuring that you get the most accurate assessment of your coin's worth. In conclusion, the 2006 P. Mint Mark Roosevelt dime is far more than just a piece of small change. Its historical significance, minting details, and potential anomalies make it a fascinating object for collectors, investors, and casual enthusiasts alike. From the intricacies of die errors to the allure of high-grade, uncirculated specimens, this dime demonstrates that even the smallest coins can hide remarkable stories and extraordinary value. So next time you glance at your loose change, remember this: what appears ordinary might just be extraordinary. Today, we are diving deep into the world of rare coins and uncovering a fascinating story about a coin that might be sitting quietly in your pocket change without you even knowing its extraordinary potential. We are talking about the 2017 D. Roosevelt dime from the United States of America, a coin that has recently caught the attention of collectors and investors alike, thanks to its remarkable rarity and potential value. While most Roosevelt dimes from recent years circulate in abundance, there are certain coins from the 2017 Denver Mint that stand out due to unique factors, making them some of the most sought-after coins for collectors today. The Roosevelt dime has a rich and compelling history. First introduced in 1946, it was designed to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt, commemorating his leadership and contributions, particularly in founding the March of Dimes. The obverse of the coin features Roosevelt's profile, which has become iconic over decades, while the reverse showcases a torch, olive branch, and oak branch, symbolizing liberty, peace, and strength. Over the years, this coin has seen millions of pieces minted, yet among them, specific coins emerge as highly desirable due to mint errors, low mintage, or unique characteristics. Now, the 2017 D. Roosevelt dime is particularly interesting because, unlike coins from the Philadelphia Mint or other years, it carries the D Mint mark, signifying it was produced at the Denver Mint. At first glance, it looks like any other dime that has passed through countless hands across the nation, yet for coin enthusiasts, every detail matters. The mint mark, subtle design elements, and the coin's condition can dramatically affect its value. The 2017 D. Roosevelt dime has gained notoriety because a very small number of these coins were struck with slight imperfections, variations, or errors during production. While they may seem minor to an untrained eye, these variations are what can turn a simple dime into a highly collectible treasure. Collectors often look for two main things when evaluating the 2017 D dime: condition and rarity. Condition, in coin terminology, refers to how well the coin has survived the passage of time. Coins that appear pristine, with no scratches, discoloration, or signs of wear, are classified as uncirculated or mint state. The 2017 D. Roosevelt dimes in mint state condition, particularly those graded by professional coin grading services, command a premium in the marketplace. Even a minor imperfection, such as a tiny scratch or discoloration spot, can dramatically decrease the coin's potential value, which is why collectors are meticulous when inspecting these coins. Rarity, on the other hand, is influenced by several factors. The number of coins minted, variations in design, errors during minting, and even coins that were accidentally produced differently from the standard can all contribute to rarity. In the case of the 2017 D. Roosevelt dime, there are known examples of coins that have doubled die features, slightly off-center strikes, or die cracks. These errors are not defects in the traditional sense. They are considered minting anomalies that make the coin unique. Coins with such anomalies are highly prized, as collectors compete to acquire them before they disappear into private collections or auction houses. Understanding coin values requires familiarity with the grading system. Coins are generally graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with higher numbers indicating better quality and less wear. Uncirculated coins, which never enter general circulation and maintain sharp details, often achieve the highest grades, usually between 60 and 70. The 2017 D. Roosevelt dime in top condition has been known to fetch significant attention at auctions. Collectors are willing to pay substantial sums for coins that retain their original luster, sharp details, and flawless surfaces. This is where the real excitement comes in, because even coins from a year as recent as 2017 can become highly valuable if they possess exceptional characteristics. One particularly fascinating aspect of the 2017 D. Roosevelt dime is its potential connection to minting anomalies known as die varieties. A die variety occurs when the dies used to strike the coins, essentially the metal molds, develop subtle changes or imperfections. Sometimes these changes result in doubled images, repunched mint marks, or even misaligned features. Coins displaying these variations are often limited in quantity because they result from rare production occurrences. Collectors prize them not only for their scarcity, but also for the story behind their creation. Imagine holding a dime in your hand that tells a tale of an imperceptible flaw at one of the most renowned mints in the United States, a tiny irregularity that happened decades after Roosevelt was first honored on American coinage. It's this narrative that makes the 2017 D dime fascinating to numismatists. Beyond the technical details, There is also a broader story about collecting coins in general. Coins like the 2017 D. Roosevelt dime are part of a larger ecosystem where history, art, and economics converge. Coin collecting, also known as numismatics, is not just about owning money, it's about preserving history, understanding the story behind each piece, and recognizing the artistry and skill involved in minting. Coins serve as tangible connections to the past, and even modern coins carry the imprint of cultural, economic, and historical significance. The 2017 D dime, while modern, is already becoming a collectible item that could potentially be passed down to future generations as a piece of American numismatic history. It is also important to note that finding a valuable 2017 D Roosevelt dime is not as impossible as it might seem. While some of the rarest coins are locked away in private collections or institutional holdings, many enter circulation. Those who pay attention to their loose change, coin rolls, or coin shops may stumble upon these treasures. Professional coin grading companies and numismatic experts often encourage collectors to examine coins from circulation carefully because hidden gems sometimes reside where we least expect them. Even if a coin looks ordinary at first glance, subtle details such as a doubling of the mint mark, unusual strikes, or unusual toning can dramatically alter its perceived and actual value. For viewers who are curious about investing in coins, the 2017 D Roosevelt dime represents an interesting opportunity. While many coins from modern years may seem abundant, the combination of mint mark rarity, exceptional condition, and anomalies can create significant value. It's a reminder that investing in coins is not just a numbers game, it is a pursuit that requires knowledge, patience, and an eye for detail. Collectors often study mint records, auction results, and grading guides to determine which coins hold promise. In the case of the 2017 D Roosevelt dime, even a subtle discovery can turn an ordinary coin into a highly desirable collectible. Finally, the excitement surrounding the 2017 D Roosevelt dime culminates in the remarkable valuation that some examples have reached in the collector's market. Exceptional coins with verified anomalies, pristine mint state conditions, and certified authenticity have been known to command extraordinary prices. These coins are no longer merely money, they are coveted collectibles that represent historical preservation, numismatic artistry, and the thrill of discovery. Imagine finding one of these coins in a roll of dimes or receiving it in change from a local store. What seems like a trivial coin could very well become a centerpiece of a collection or a significant financial asset. For the most extraordinary examples of the 2017 D Roosevelt dime, collectors have paid sums that can seem almost unbelievable for a coin minted in the modern era. Coins that have been carefully preserved, graded, and authenticated have reached a peak value of $22,000 in words. This figure is a testament to the fact that even recent coins, when rare and in impeccable condition, can rival older, historically famous coins in terms of desirability and financial worth. The story of the 2017 D Roosevelt dime is more than just numbers and grades. It is a narrative that combines history, art, rarity, and financial intrigue. It is a coin that demonstrates that careful observation, patience, and knowledge can turn an everyday object into something extraordinary. Whether you are an experienced numismatist or a curious newcomer, the allure of the 2017 D Roosevelt dime lies not only in its potential value but also in the connection it provides to the meticulous craft of coin making and the ongoing fascination of collecting rare and unique coins. So, the next time you find yourself sorting through coins, consider this. A humble Roosevelt dime from 2017, bearing the Denver Mint mark, might be more than just loose change. When we talk about rare coins in the United States, most people immediately think of the old classics, like the 1909 SVDB Lincoln Cent or the 1913 Liberty Head nickel. But what if I told you that even modern coins, minted in the last few years, can be astonishingly valuable if you know what to look for? Today, we're diving into a coin that might be hiding in your pocket change right now, the 2020 P Mint Mark Roosevelt dime. Yes, a coin most of us have used countless times in vending machines, laundromats, and cash registers, yet this one holds a secret that could turn your small change into a rare treasure. The Roosevelt dime has been a staple of American coinage since its introduction in 1946, honoring President Franklin D. Roosevelt, the nation's beloved 32nd president. Designed by John R. Sinek, this dime replaced the Mercury dime and has featured some of the most subtle yet fascinating design details in modern American coinage. From the profile of Roosevelt himself to the intricate lettering and edge reading, every dime carries a legacy. But what makes the 2020 P Mint Mark Roosevelt dime particularly special is not just its design, it's the rarity and the subtle variations that experts and collectors have learned to identify. Now, let's talk about the Mint Mark. The P stands for the Philadelphia Mint, one of the oldest and most historically significant mints in the United States. Coins from Philadelphia are among the most common in circulation, yet in some cases, certain batches carry errors, unusual finishes, or striking anomalies that make them incredibly rare. And the 2020 P Roosevelt dime has given numismatists a few surprises. One of the reasons this dime has caught the attention of collectors is the low mintage for Philadelphia that year combined with the unique circumstances of production. 2020 was a year like no other, with the global pandemic affecting every facet of life, including the production of coins. Coin production slowed down at the Philadelphia Mint, and the demand for change remained steady. This unusual balance between supply and demand has made certain coins from 2020, particularly the Roosevelt dime, highly sought after. Collectors have noticed that some of these dimes exhibit tiny but distinct anomalies. These can include doubling in the lettering, faint die cracks, or even subtle variations in the rim thickness. To the untrained eye, these details may be invisible, but for a seasoned collector, spotting these differences can mean the difference between owning a standard dime and a coin worth hundreds, or even thousands of dollars. The 2020 P Mint Mark Roosevelt dime is a perfect example of how careful observation pays off in the world of coin collecting. Another fascinating aspect of this dime is its condition. In the world of numismatics, condition is everything. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with higher numbers representing coins in near-perfect, uncirculated condition. A standard 2020 P Roosevelt dime found in your change might be worth face value, just 10 cents. But if you happen to have one that has been preserved in mint condition, free of scratches, dings, or wear, and especially if it's from a special die variety, it can be worth exponentially more. Professional grading services, such as PCGS or NGC, have documented several examples of 2020 P Roosevelt dimes with mint state grades above 70, creating a collectible market that has surprised even veteran numismatists. The silver content, or rather the lack of it, is another point of intrigue. While Roosevelt dimes minted prior to 1965 contain 90% silver, modern dimes like the 2020 P are composed primarily of a copper-nickel clad. Yet even without silver, modern coins can command impressive prices due to rarity, errors, and collector demand. In fact, the market for modern coin collecting has exploded in recent years, driven by online auction platforms and a new generation of enthusiasts who are eager to find value in the everyday coins around them. This means that even coins you might overlook in your change jar could be hidden treasures, waiting to be discovered. Now, let's explore why this coin has become a hot topic in the collecting community. First, there's the demand from collectors who focus exclusively on Roosevelt dimes. This series has been collected continuously since 1946, with certain years being more elusive than others. The 2020 P Mint Mark stands out because it represents a year of global upheaval, making coins from this period historically significant. Collectors often prize coins that tell a story or mark a notable event in history, and 2020 is certainly a year for the history books. Next, there's the potential for error coins. Numismatic history shows us that error coins often become some of the most valuable in any given series. Whether it's a misplaced mint mark, a die crack, or doubling of the image, these anomalies can turn a dime worth 10 cents into a collectible item that sells for hundreds, or even thousands of dollars. For the 2020 P Roosevelt dime, some coins have shown subtle variations that have been confirmed by professional graders. These anomalies are difficult to spot without close examination, which is why many collectors sift through large numbers of coins to find that one special specimen. Additionally, the 2020p Roosevelt dime has an appeal beyond numismatics. For casual collectors, it represents an accessible entry point. While rare coins from the early 20th century often require thousands of dollars to acquire, modern coins with low mintage or special features are within reach of everyday collectors. This has created a surge in interest for modern Roosevelt dimes, particularly among those who are just starting their coin collection. And because these coins are so widely circulated, there's a chance that even someone who isn't actively looking for rare coins could stumble upon one in their pocket change. Collectors also enjoy the thrill of verification. Once a potential find is identified, it can be submitted to professional grading services, which authenticate the coin and assign it a grade. A high grade on a rare 2020p Roosevelt dime can significantly increase its market value. Auction records and numismatic marketplaces have documented sales of modern coins reaching impressive prices, further fueling the excitement surrounding these seemingly ordinary dimes. The aesthetics of the Roosevelt dime also play a part in its collectability. John Sinek's design captures the dignity and character of Franklin D. Roosevelt, while the reverse, featuring the torch, olive branch, and oak branch, symbolizes liberty, peace, and strength. These design elements are timeless, and collectors often appreciate coins not just for their monetary value but for their artistry and historical significance. A well-preserved 2020p dime can be admired not only as a collectible but also as a miniature work of art. So, what should you do if you come across a 2020p Roosevelt dime? First, examine it carefully for any unusual features. Look for differences in the mint mark, doubling in the letters, irregularities in the rim, or any signs that it might have been struck slightly off-center. Coins that appear pristine should be handled carefully, preferably with gloves or by their edges, to avoid adding any damage. Second, consider submitting the coin for professional grading if you suspect it might be a rare variant. Even modest anomalies can significantly increase the value of a coin in mint condition. Finally, it's important to remember that the coin market can fluctuate. Values are influenced by collector demand, the rarity of the coin, and broader market trends. However, the 2020p mint mark Roosevelt dime has already shown remarkable resilience in the collector's market, and many experts believe it will continue to hold and even increase in value over time. It's a modern treasure with a story that combines history, artistry, rarity, and the thrill of discovery. A perfect combination for coin enthusiasts and casual collectors alike. In conclusion, the 2020p mint mark Roosevelt dime is more than just a coin you might find in your pocket or wallet. It represents a moment in history, a piece of artistry, and a hidden potential for wealth that might surprise anyone who takes the time to look closely. Whether it's the low mintage, the potential errors, or simply the joy of collecting a coin in near-perfect condition, this dime is a fascinating example of how even modern coins can become valuable collectibles. So next time you handle a Roosevelt dime, take a moment to examine it carefully. You might just be holding a rare treasure in your hand. And for those wondering just how valuable this rare and highly collectible 2020p mint mark Roosevelt dime can be in the current market, this extraordinary coin can reach a price of $39,266 in words. That's the astonishing potential hidden in something as small and commonplace as a dime.